It's Tuesday, December 29th, and you're watching The Great Lost Rewatch.
Today we're talking about Through the Looking Glass, Part 1. I'm joined here by Brandon. Do you want to introduce your YouTube name so people know?
I am Great B-Man85 on YouTube, and I have been a loyal Great Lost Rewatcher all the way through to this wonderful day.
This episode starts what we all thought was a flashback of Jack on a plane getting drunk.
His Wolfman Jack beard.
He looks over at the newspaper and he sees the obituaries, and one obituary in particular makes him really upset. He drives to a bridge and is going to jump off said bridge until some lady crashes her car. Later we see him at the hospital and Sarah shows up. She says she's still his emergency contact. Now, when the first time I watched this episode, I thought this must be right after him and Sarah break up. But Sarah's extremely pregnant.
Because the last time we saw Sarah was really when they had just broken up, right?
We thought.
Yeah,
anyway.
we thought that they had just broken up, and so you're like, really?
Yeah, I thought, what a
That
slut.
was
That was fast. The new chief of surgery, he talks about how Jack is the hero
Twice over.
There were two people in that car accident, the mom and the son.
And the son. Yeah.
But what he really means is that he was the hero from Oceanic 815.
I'm back on the island. Charlie's pretty badass in the beginning of this episode. He's all cocky and like, you can hit me, whatever, I'm still gonna push that button.
Bonnie is pissed.
Yeah. She has been down there way too long.
Desmond wakes up in the outrigger and starts to get shot at, so he dives down into the water.
Mikhail, for being in the army, has really, really poor aim.
Horrible aim, but he also has one eye, so
that's true.
Excuse which way he's shooting. He's like, Desmond's over here, bang.
And he pops up in the moon pool while the other two are still in the radio room, so Charlie tells him to hide. And the girls kind of see him, and Charlie starts singing, "You all, everybody."
Anyone else miss You All, Everybody?
Loved You All, Everybody.
Ben talks about he's always been a loyalist. You need to clean up this mess I've made, and he wants Mikhail to kill everybody.
Yeah, to kill Charlie and everybody.
We have our big group of people heading towards the radio tower. Saeed, Bernard, and Jin are staying behind to set off the dynamite remotely.
The others show up.
It's empty! Get away from the tent!
But Jin unfortunately misses, and there are still a few others that are living and takes them hostage.
Ben tells them to shoot Jin unless they tell them where the other castaways went.
Yeah, and Bernard caves.
Ben then decides that he is going to go and meet up with Jack because he needs to talk to Jack. And Ben decides he's going to take Alex with him because he's delivering her to them. She's going to be with them now. He doesn't want her anymore, I guess.
Alex kind of calls him out saying, of course I hate you. You took Carl, you locked him up in a cage, you tried to brainwash him. And Ben's response is,
I didn't want him to get you pregnant.
Completely.
It's a valid concern, especially when you become, it's terrible when, a teenage daughter would get pregnant in any case, but especially on the island where you will die from said pregnancy. A group of people heading towards the radio tower think that the plan hasn't been executed perfectly, and they're correct in that. Rose has the great line of, you say, live together, die alone to me, Jack, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Kate says she wants to go back to help them, and Sawyer says, of course you do, which is kind of ironic because I don't want to spoil anything, but at the end of the second part of this episode, she's the one that doesn't want to go back somewhere.
But Sawyer will not let her go, does not want her to go back. But Juliet ends up going, saying that they have a cadre of weapons hidden somewhere. She'll take Sawyer to get the guns, and then they'll be able to go and assist Jen and everybody else. When, of course, in true other fashion, Juliet was lying.
This is where the triangle becomes a square. As far as Jack, Juliet, Kate, and Sawyer are concerned.
Mm-hmm. Jack comes up and starts talking to her, and, he says, Sawyer said those things to you because he's trying to protect you. He doesn't want to go back on the suicide mission. And Kate kind of questions him on it, and he says, I know because I love you.
Hearing Jack say the words, because I love you, just as the simplest truth in the world, it was like, yes.
Very end of this episode, where we find Locke wakes up in the pit of dead Dharma people.
Put the gun down.
Walt.
Walt's seemingly a foot and a half taller than the last time we saw him.
Voice digitally higher.
Voice digitally pitched higher.
And says, you know, you've got things to do, Locke. You need to get up.
That's where we're going to leave it today, with Walt being older.
We'll be back tomorrow with Through the Looking Glass Part 2.
Everybody hold on to your hats, because...
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy.
See you then.
We're gonna need to watch that again.
Sorry, that was the little music.
Everything that I did for the island. And I'm embarrassing myself, so I'm gonna stop.